Thanks for staying with us on ASO TV News at this hour. I am Joy Annie. Let's begin with the headlines. Nigeria's Vice President Kashim Shettima says Uba Sani's leadership is turning Kaduna into one-party state. Federal government raises concern over silent threat of lymphatic filariasis. AFCT Police Commissioner CP Dentawaye inspects security deployments in and around University of Abuja. And on the news in detail, Vice President Kashim Shettima has said Governor Uba Sani leadership is steadily transforming Kaduna State into one-party state, following a surge of defection from opposition parties to the All Progressives Congress. Vice President Shettima made a remark at the weekend during the commissioning of the Tundumbiri Resettlement Scheme, where he commended the governor for what he described as deliberate, inclusive and strategic effort to expand the APC political base across the state. Recalling the outcome of the 2023 general election, VP Shettima noted that the APC had suffered major setbacks in Kaduna before the recent wave of political realignment. He stated that in 2023, APC lost all 3 Senate seats to the PDP. Out of the 16 members of the National Assembly, the APC had only 4, while the PDP had 10, and the Labour Party had 2. According to him, the situation has since changed significantly due to what he termed the conscious and deliberate efforts of Governor Sani and party leaders, resulting in the defection of several prominent opposition figures. The Vice President described developments in southern Kaduna as unprecedented, noting that the zone had consistently elected senators on the platform of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, since 1999. And now the House of Representatives has defended the delay in the passage of the Electoral Amendment Reform Bill. The Green Chamber said the process is aimed at harmonizing diverse views to produce a credible and acceptable legal framework. The House spokesman, Akintude Rotimi, said the delay was necessary to ensure that the final document effectively addresses gaps identified during the 2023 general election and strengthen Nigeria's democratic process. Rotimi spoke at the weekend in Ikole, local government area of Ekiti State, while inaugurating road projects at Isaba and Okeayedo, as well as the staff quarters at Odo Oro High School, Odo Oro. Responding to concerns expressed by Nigerians on why the electoral reform bill is yet to be fully passed by the National Assembly, the lawmaker explained that while the House of Representatives had passed the bill before its December recess, the Senate will still working on it. He added that the electoral reform bill before the National Assembly is targeted at improving the transparency, credibility and efficiency of the democratic system, while also addressing the shortcomings exposed during the 2023 general election. The lawmaker said credible elections remain the foundation of democracy. He also added that the reforms would guarantee that Nigeria can vote freely and have confidence that their votes would count. He urged Nigerians to continue to support the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, saying such support would enable the government to deliver more on its promises. And now the minority leader of the 9th Senate, Senator Philip Tanimu Aduda, has met with key political stakeholders from Bari Area Council as part of ongoing consultations aimed at strengthening political cohesion and advancing the collective interests of the Federal Capital Territory. The delegation, led by the chairman of Bari Area Council, Mr. John Gabaya, paid the visit at a time of heightened political realignment within the FCT as major political actors and group reassesses their positions ahead of the 2027 general election. The meeting is coming against the backdrop of the sustained calls by several political groups and support organizations urging Senator Aduda, popularly known as Talban Karu, to consider defecting from the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, to the ruling All Progressives Congress, the APC. These calls have intensified in recent weeks as permutations from 2027 gather momentum. Although Senator Aduda had not publicly declared his political direction, he reassured the Bari stakeholders that broad-based consultations are ongoing on critical stakeholders across the FCT. He emphasized that any decision he takes will be guided by the overall interest, unity and development of the FCT and its people. Speaking on behalf of the delegation, the chairman of Buhari Area Council, Mr. John Gabaya, said the stakeholders were in the senator's office to hear directly from the horse's mouth regarding his political plans. He pledged the unflinching support of Buhari stakeholders, affirming that they would stand by Senator Aduda and align with whatever political decision he ultimately makes in the best interest of the FCT. The visit further highlights Senator Aduda's continued relevance in the political landscape of the FCT as consultations and alignments intensify ahead of the next electoral cycle. Let's take you to Abaji as the chairman of the Area Council, Alhaji Abubakar Umar Abdullahi, has expressed profound appreciation to Hajia Farida Odange for organizing what he described as a historic and gigantic event marking the unveiling and inauguration of the 10 Ward Women Coordinators ahead of the 21st February 2026 general election. Speaking at the event, the chairman noted that women remain a formidable political force in Abaji Area Council, stressing that the council currently has a total of 79.471 registered voters. According to him, this significant voter strength, driven largely by women at the grassroots, guarantees victory through peaceful and democratic means. Alhaji Abubakar Abdullahi emphasized that violence has never been a part of his political character, declaring that ballot box snatching or any form of electoral malpractice is completely against the values of his administration. The Abaji chairman further explained that a careful analysis of voter strength across the 10 ward combined with the massive grassroots support already recorded clearly shows that the Abaji electorate has already spoken. He added that his administration does not depend on federal or external influence, but rather on the real confidence and trust of the people of Abaji Area Council. Also addressing the Director General of the Tinubu Support Group, the chairman disclosed that his administration is the first in the history of Abaji Area Council to embark on unit-to-unit campaign tours across all wards. He described this approach as a demonstration of inclusive leadership, direct grassroots engagement, and respect for the voices of ordinary citizens. He also commended the former chairman, Dr. Alhaji Yahya Musa Muhammad, for his landmark achievement, particularly in asphalt road construction. Still on political matters now, Ndibo residents in Abuja have advised to support only those with their interest at heart in the forthcoming Area Council election. The president, Ohaneze Ndibo FCT chapter, Chief Andrew Okonkwo Ugu, gave the advice at the association's New Year Prayer Day program for 2026 held at the Cyprian Ekwensi Center of Art and Culture in Abuja. Daniel Obi has that report.
Chief Ugu, who thanked God for the gift of life in the new year, stated his commitment to the pursuit of peace, progress, and massive empowerment for women and youths of the organization. He stated further that Ndibo will participate fully and actively in the forthcoming Area Council elections as his administration is on course to push the political interests of Ndibo in the FCT.
And what Abuja will do, what we expect in Ohaneze 2026, is a flow of prosperity, because we have put everything on ground to making sure that our people out there will assist the needy, will get the values from all canals and help the needy.
Senior executive members, including the chapter's women leader, Mrs. Gladys Chinyere Okoro, Eswa chapter president, Chief Ifeanyichukwu Nweze, and Princess Adeze Olisilo Moneke, called on Ndibo to vote according to the dictates of their conscience as they go about exercising their franchise in the forthcoming elections.
We need good governance. It won't be same, just like the other ones. Let's open our eyes and vote for the right person, irrespective. Just vote your conscience. Know the person that will deliver. We all know them.
The area council that will take care or that has shown regard for the Igbo people, our people should support that particular candidate.
Yeah. The only thing I'm telling the Igbo people is just to come out en masse and vote for the candidate of their choice, right? I know and I believe that if they come out, whoever they stand behind is definitely going to clinch that ticket. Is going to be the winner.
The event, themed "The Lord Jehovah is Our God," brought together members of the organization for prayers and thanksgiving. Key highlights was the induction of new members into positions of responsibility within the organization. The occasion was graced by the presence of Honorable Joshua Chinedu Obika, Honorable Christopher Zaka Mekalangu, Honorable Lawrence Onuchuku, among others. Daniel Obi, ASO Television News.
You're watching ASO Television News. We're live on DSTV channel 392, also on Star Times TV channel 127, and for TV channel 507. We are also on the UHF band on channel 38. Now still to come on the news. Federal government raises concern over silent threat of lymphatic filariasis. To stay with us for this and more after the break.
Good evening and welcome to the greatest show on earth. This is a people's game. They will be bubbling about this one for weeks and months to come.
Let's go! Lights, camera, action. Put your mind on it, let the lights are true.
Stay connected. Stay with us, starting from Yanga and Jolly.
Many thanks for staying there. Now the federal government has warned citizens against neglecting the threat posed by neglected tropical diseases, the NTDs, as the country remains one of the most affected, accounting for a 50% share of cases globally. Speaking during a public awareness walk to mark the 2026 World NTDs Day on Friday, January 30, from Wuse Market to Utako, the National Program Manager for Lymphatic Filariasis at the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, Mrs. Okoye Chinwe, described lymphatic filariasis as a silent destroyer capable of remaining in the human body for years without symptoms while causing irreversible physical, social, and economic damage. Let's join Elizabeth Kasham for more.
Mrs. Okoye Chinwe emphasized that lymphatic filariasis is both preventable and controllable through yearly administration of free medication, albendazole and mectizan, distributed to residents in endemic communities. She added that the disease remains one of the most dangerous yet overlooked public health threats in Nigeria.
119 million people. Nigeria is already 50% globally. And in Africa, we have almost 25% of the people in Africa, yes, you know. So what we are doing now is to let us know that this lymphatic filariasis is much, and we can control it, we can eliminate it. It's not just for us to, you know, just look at it and overlook it.
Also speaking, the head of monitoring and evaluation of the NTD control program, Mr. Gambuya Kobu, revealed that 583 of Nigeria's 774 local government areas are endemic for lymphatic filariasis.
Two categories of these neglected tropical diseases. We have what is called preventive chemotherapy, neglected tropical diseases, and case management, neglected tropical diseases. So under the preventive chemotherapy and NTDs, we have 5 of them. That is, we have what is called lymphatic filariasis, commonly known as elephantiasis, and so far so good, 583 local governments in Nigeria out of 774 are already endemic. And also in
representing developing partners, Ms. Sarah Pantovu of the Carter Center said the 2026 theme calls for collective responsibilities among government, donors, communities, and health workers.
Well, each of the partners, we all have our responsibilities. Some of us are implementing partners, and then we also have the donors. Like the Carter Center where I work for, we have put in funding, we have trained workers, you know, and we have also strengthened the health system agencies. So we're all supposed to come together and put in decisive action towards the elimination of NTDs.
President of the Nigeria Association of Persons Affected with Leprosy, Mr. Peter Teweyuki advocated for improved access to NTD drugs and early treatment to prevent disability and discrimination.
What I want to advocate here is that the federal government should join hands with those partners so that they will be able to lead this fight to the grassroots, because somebody coming outside will not do almost everything.
Officials added that several other neglected tropical diseases remain prevalent nationwide, including river blindness in about 480 local government areas, schistosomiasis in 583 local government, soil-transmitted helminth in 424 local government areas, trichoma in 133 local government areas. Elizabeth Kasham, ASO Television News.
Now, the Federal Medical Center FMC Abuja has issued a clarification regarding the death of Ms. Ifunanya Lucy Nwangene, who passed away on January 31st, 2026, following complications from a snake bite. The hospital, in a statement via its head of clinical services, Dr. Bioku Muftwa, expressed deep condolences to the Ngene family, describing the loss as tragic and heartbreaking. According to the hospital's management, Ms. Nwangene received prompt and appropriate medical attention upon arrival. Dr. Muftau stated that treatment reportedly included resuscitation efforts, intravenous fluid, intranasal oxygen, and the administration of polyvalent anti-snake venom, adding that she had already developed severe neurotoxic complication, and despite plans to transfer her to the intensive care unit, her condition deteriorated suddenly before the transfer could be completed. The hospital emphasized that all necessary life-saving measures, including cardiopulmonary resuscitation, the CPR, were carried out by medical staff, but efforts to revive her were unsuccessful. The hospital strongly refuted claims circulating on social media alleging that the unavailability of anti-snake venom or inadequate response, describing such reports as unfounded. The institution reaffirmed its commitment to transparency, professional integrity, and quality patient care, and urged the public to rely on credible sources for accurate information. Now, the Commissioner of Police in the FCT, CP Mila Dantawaye, has conducted a tour of security deployments within and around the University of Abuja. The tour, carried out on January 29th, 2026, was aimed at accessing, exiting security arrangements and ensuring adequate preparedness to deter criminal activities within the university environment. According to a statement issued by the command spokesperson, SP Josephine Ada, on Sunday, during the operational tour, the Commissioner of Police inspected personnel deployed at strategic location, including the campus perimeters and surrounding hills. SP Ada said he commended the officers for their commitment and resilience in safeguarding the institution and charged them to remain vigilant, proactive, and professional in the discharge of their duties. The police spokesperson further said, as part of the operational tour, CP Miller paid a courtesy call on the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Abuja, Professor Hakeem Fawemi, where both engaged in intensive discussion on the prevailing security situation of the institution. She added that they explored modalities for strengthening the already existing security architecture for further enhance the safety of students, staff, and property within the university community. The CP reaffirmed his commitment to ensuring that the university is provided with adequate deployment of personnel and equipment to prevent and promptly respond to any security incidents. The Armed Forces of Nigeria says troops have recovered more than 210,000 liters of stolen crude oil, destruction of 53 illegal refining sites, and the arrest of 81 suspected oil thieves in January 2026 by sustaining military operations across the Niger Delta and other parts of the country. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Michael Onoja, during a media briefing on ongoing military operation nationwide, disclosed that troops operating on the Joint Task Force Operation Delta Safe recorded major successes against oil theft syndicates, illegal refiners, and associated criminal networks that have continued to sabotage Nigeria's oil production and revenue base. The Director of Defense Media Operation revealed that during surveillance flights over Bakana and Abuloma, military aircraft identified a large barge actively siphoning petroleum product. He noted that oil theft continues to fuel other forms of criminality, including militancy, piracy, and armed proliferation, making its suppression a key component of broader national security operations. Major General Noda, while giving an update on the return of refugees, said the military is intensifying effort to ensure their safe resettlement.
The refugees, Nigerian refugees who went to Cameroon, are now returning. We know that it has been a long process to ensure that they return to their homelands. The military, in conjunction with the federal government, has tried all within its capacity to ensure that we provide the necessary security for those areas that they left. So if they are coming back now, that means it is a measure of the success of our operations, and so we appreciate that the press and Nigerians are aware of that and appreciate that. Now to the specific number of villages or local governments where they come from.
Troops across all theaters of operation nationwide recorded significant operational successes in January, arresting 452 suspected terrorists, kidnappers, and other criminal elements. During the period, security forces also rescued 284 kidnapped victims and received the surrender of 124 terrorists and their family members. Military operations extended beyond the Niger Delta, with troops under various joint task forces sustaining offensives against terrorist groups and criminal gangs in the northeast, northwest, and north central and southeast. These operations led to the neutralization of several high-value targets and the disruption of key logistics and support network. Despite these gains, Major General Onoja reaffirmed that the protection of oil and gas infrastructure remains a strategic priority, citing its critical role in national revenue generation and overall economic stability. Now, Federation Account Allocation Committee FAC says it disbursed a sum of 1.969 trillion naira in December 2025 as monthly revenue allocation from the Federation account revenue to the federal government, states, and the local government councils. In a statement signed by the Director of Press and Public Relations to the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, Mr. Bawa Moka, shows that the revenue was shared at the January 2026 FAC meeting held in Abuja. It added that the sum comprised a distributable statutory revenue of 1.084 trillion naira, distributable value-added tax revenue of 846.5 billion naira, electronic money transfer levy revenue of 38.1 billion naira. A communique issued by the FAC indicates that the total gross revenue of 2.5 trillion naira was available in the month of December 2025, as total deduction for cost of collection was 104.6 billion naira, while total transfers, refunds, and savings was 511.5 billion naira. The communique disclosed that from the distributable revenue of 1.969 trillion naira, the federal government received total sum of 653.5 billion naira. The state government received 706.4 billion naira. The local government councils received 513.2 billion naira, while the sum of 96 billion naira 96.083 billion naira was shared to the oil-producing benefiting states as 13% derivation revenue. In December 2025, companies include tax CIT, CGT, and the STD, import duty, and VAT increased significantly. Oil and gas royalty, the CET levies and fees increased marginally, while excise duty, petroleum profit tax, hydrocarbon tax, and electronic money transfer levy recorded considerable decreases. In the world of sports, South Africa's Minister of Sport, Art and Culture, Guyton McKenzie, has clarified that no official decision has been taken regarding a change of host for the 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations (WAFCON), following comments by Deputy Minister Peace Mabe suggesting that South Africa would step in for Morocco. Speaking on Sunday at the Hollywood Beats Super League Award, Mabe said South Africa was ready to host the tournament should Morocco be unable to do so, citing the country's infrastructure, hospitality, capability, and experience in staging major international events. He said it cannot be debatable because the country just hosted a successful G20 summit in November where heads of states and of different countries attended, which indicated that in terms of hospitality, South Africa is ready as well. However, in a statement released hours later, McKenzie stressed that discussions around the tournament remain preliminary and that Morocco is still the official designated host. According to the minister, South Africa has merely indicated its willingness to support the Confederation of African Football (CAF) if alternative hosting arrangements become necessary. He noted that such engagements are part of CAF's ongoing contingency planning to do not amount to a relocation of the tournament. He said as the Minister of Sport, Art and Culture, he wishes to provide clarity following remarks made by the Deputy Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture at the Hollywood Bet Super League Award regarding the 2026 Total Energies Women African Cup of Nations (WAFCON). But that's a bulletin. But before we go, a look at one of our major stories again. We told you that Vice President Kashim Shettima has said that Governor Ubasan's leadership is steadily transforming Kaduna State into a one-party state following a surge of defection from opposition parties to the All Progressives Congress. But as news, I am Joy Annie. Many thanks for watching.